right. Well, welcome everybody to a special Facebook Live today. We're going to be doing something we've never done before. We're going to be doing some free coaching, and I've got a super special guest. Like we're kind of like doing like an Allen sandwich here, with Mark on one side, me on the other, but less awkward than if we were doing it in person. We're like, this is the social distancing version of an Allen sandwich. So anyway, before I introduce our guest and tell you how you can get some free coaching today, let me read this email that today's guest sent a few weeks ago. Now, to give you some background, Alan here, he got our ultimate guide to resources pages. It's a guide where we walk you through step by step how we make about $100,000 a year, a little bit more actually, from this single page on our website. And by the way, if you want to get it, type in resource. Just type in resource, and our like auto magical amazing technology that wasn't even available 5 years ago will automatically send it to you, and you can be able to get that guide that Alan got. Then Alan got a personalized review of his page, which you'll see that option as you go through after you get it. It's a paid, it's a paid thing. Doesn't cost much, vastly discounted compared to normal coaching. And I did a video. I just recorded a screencast where I walked through his resources page and I said, hey, change this, change that, do this. What if you tweak that? Oh, I love that, but maybe do this, a little bit, blah, blah, blah. I sent 9 suggestions, and he wrote this in response. He said, thank you so much, Matt. Thank you so much for your insights, Matt. I'm already seeing how implementing these changes will make this page instantly more effective. Now, to give you some perspective on this next thing, I said, dude, this has to be like ClickFunnels or something. Like, this page looks amazing. There's no way you built this yourself. And he's like, hey, I'm humbly proud that you thought this was ClickFunnels or Lead Pages. I actually built it on the authority theme from Studio Press, but simply borrowed all your tips. I'm a poor web designer, but it made me feel really good that you thought the layout was professional, because it was. And you'll see that, guys. You're going to see his layout, and you're going to be like, it's awesome. It's stunning that you'd like to use it as a case study, because that's what we're doing today. So I'll get right to work implementing those changes. You've proven that this small investment was worth 10 times the value. Look forward to learning even more. All the best to you and your team. So his name is Alan Paul, and Alan helps creatives. I'm going to let you kind of tell this, but here's what I think you do. I think you help faith-based aspiring music professionals to build their career and stay true to who they are. I mean, I'll let you kind of correct me as we go along, but he has an amazing podcast I actually started listening to in preparation for this. And I remember going, I'm only going to, no offense, Alan, I'm not a music professional. So what am I going to listen to this podcast for, right? I got some good stuff out of it. So I actually recommend this podcast. I think it's really cool. It's called Gods and Gigs. He's rocking it with this business. I love what he's doing, how he's helping people. And now he's added a killer resources page that we're going to take a look at today. So Alan, welcome, my friend.
Thank you, Matt, and thank you for those kind words again. Like I feel like every time, even hearing you say it again, how like people have to write their own bio and things like that. I just want to borrow everything you said and just like plaster it everywhere. Like, hey, whatever Matt said, that's what I'm going to go.
I actually travel around with people and introduce them.
Please,
so if you're doing like a Facebook Live or something, you're going live, I'll just come on, like 2 minutes before you go for a use. I'll just be like, hey, let me talk about Alan.
Perfect, so, man. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, before we talk about you, Alan, guys, let us know about you. Let us know where you're joining us from. Always love to see that. I see Colleen from Nashville. What's up? My former hometown. Vic from the Houston metro area. Hope you're staying safe down there. Yushika, let us know where you're joining us from. But I don't know if you knew this, Colleen, but I spent about half my life in just outside of Nashville, Franklin, Spring Hill, that area. So today, Alan, I want to dig in first a little bit of your story, just to give some people some background. But it sounds like I did your introduction justice, so that's good. But if not, is there anything that you would add, to kind of your background story there?
No, I think the fact that you described how I had to. Let me tell you and hype you up and tell you how much I appreciate your information and finding.
Yeah, let's just do that for the next 45 minutes.
Exactly. But I gotta say, your podcast was my eureka moment. Just one of those things where you're searching all the people that we probably know in our marketing world, the Pat Flynn's and the Chris Duckers, and I'm just trying to learn this over the last 5-6 years of doing this internet coaching. And you said it exactly right. What I do is I try to help faith-focused freelancers, musicians, and artists to build a better life from the inside out. That's what I do from that faith perspective, but that's just who I am. I'm a musician, I'm a teacher, and those two things came together. And so when I started looking for what can I do to actually help people, like more than just talk about it, what can I give them? I came across your stuff. And so, yeah, 6 months ago or so, it was like I got on the Matt train and I've been on it ever since. And yeah, I think that kind of describes my exactly right. I can see you right now going down the tracks, but that describes how I think. I'm a teacher, I'm a musician, and I believe in principles, and I also believe in like learning. So when I needed to figure out something, I had to find the right resources because I'm trying to provide resources, but I can't provide resources if I don't go find the right stuff to help people with,
Yeah.
and be a student as well as being a teacher. So yeah, that describes me, in a nutshell. I don't need to really add anything to that.
I love it, man. And so you said something really well there. I mean, the whole spirit of setting up this resources page, it's something that we talk about in the ultimate guide, which again, just type resources or resource, either one of them works. And we're gonna send you that guide. And one of the things that I mentioned in there, you really took to heart, which is this page is about serving your audience.
Right.
That is number one. Yes, we show you how to make money. You will make money. We make a lot of money off of it. It's great. I love that we can take this page, and when somebody reaches out to me and says, what do you recommend for such and such, and go, boom, it's on this page. Here's the link, and I love that. I love that people go to that page. I love that that page is like the 5th or 6th most visited page on my entire website. And it's not just from people emailing us or, tweeting me or, shooting me a message on Facebook saying, what do you recommend? It's people are just on my site browsing and they click on resources and they end up buying stuff. That's awesome. But number one is serve thy audience. That is the number one thing. If you do that, the money will come. And so, hey Jim and hey Tim, got like a whole like Middle Tennessee area thing going, like a Nashville area, Owensboro, Kentucky,
Yeah.
Nashville, Spring Hill, near Franklin. Tim, ironically, I will let you know you have an email coming from me here in the next 48 hours ish. I actually spoke it into my phone today. My assistant will type it, so you'll get an email from me here shortly. So here's what today's going to look like. In just a minute, I'm going to share Alan's resources page, and we're just going to talk through it. You and I, Alan, we're going to, and Mark as well. We're going to just talk through that resources page, what we like, what we still might improve. Who knows? I might catch something. Maybe maybe there's an idea we want to try. I don't know. I'm going to show you where I think Alan is doing some stuff that maybe we don't recommend, because we're kind of teaching you the basics, we're giving you the framework, but he's doing it and I like it. Like it's not out of the box. Like that's the cool thing. And then number two, we're going to coach you. So here's what you do if you want free coaching today. One person's going to get free coaching. Just put your URL of your resources page if you have one. If you don't have one, well, you don't get free coaching today because there's nothing for me to review. So what you're going to do, if you don't, let's talk about that. If you don't have a resources page, you're going to grab that ultimate guide to resources pages. You're going to type resources in the chat there. We're going to send you that guide. You're going to use that to build your resources page. There'll be an opportunity there if you want for a very low fee. It's really not that much. Like Alan said, it's worth 10 times more, if not 100. I'll do a personalized review of your resources page. You will get, I don't know, Alan, you did it in about 24, 48 hours later. I recorded a video, sent it over to you, walking through, like awesome, right? You can take advantage of that opportunity if you want. If not, totally fine. Use the guide, create the resources page. If you do have a resources page, put your link in the chat. Mark's going to look at those and pick one. I don't know if he's going to, we haven't talked about this. I don't know if he's going to pick the one that's hardest for me because it's so good that I can barely make any suggestions, or if he's going to pick, one that he thinks will be a challenge for me just because it's in a niche I don't know anything about. So like in the tools niche or something, in the camping niche, maybe he'll pick that one. So if you're in the camping niche, definitely drop yours. Mark's going to pick that just to mess with me. Because he knows I have no suggestions other than layout. Like I can't recommend, you should add a category for this because I don't know anything about camping. So that's what we're going to do. So just put that in the chat and then Mark will pick that. And then after we do Alan's, I'm going to review your page. I'm going to review one of your page. Whoever Mark says, he's going to drop the link in here and he's going to, we're going to do that. So real quick, that report that I mentioned, it's gonna walk you through how we make about $10,000 a month from that one page. It's almost all passive. The great thing about this page, you'll see this, Alan, is you'll tweak it every few months. Take you 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I had to make a tweak yesterday. There was a broken URL. I went in, I fixed it. I'm done. Took me 15 seconds. So it's mostly passive. You'll learn what a resources page is and what it's not. I'm going to reveal why this single page it used to be the third most popular page on my site. Now it's like the fourth or fifth most popular, but it's still one of the top 2 or 3 most profitable pages on my site. And I'll walk you step by step how to create it, what to include, what not to include. And then I'm going to share the 5 keys that make a resources page great, how to make it easy to use, convert like absolute crazy, and ultimately, like I said, serve your audience. So type resources and I will send that over. Like I said, you'll get that opportunity to get that personalized review from me like I did from Alan. So are you guys ready to see Alan's page? I hope you are, because I'm getting ready to share it. So if you're not ready, too bad. Let's get this pulled up here. And all right, Mark, I think you have to like authorize me, don't you? Can you let me know if you guys are seeing my screen? Mark is holding up one finger, but being silent.
Suspense is killing me.
Let's see here. No, still not. Let's see. We're getting there. I promise you guys. Hey, Elliot. All right, your screen is now being shared. Awesome. So if you guys can just confirm in the chat, and I'll keep an eye on that you are indeed seeing my screen. I'm going to move this there. All right, so we'll kind of split this for just a minute so I can confirm. But yep, you guys should be. All righty. There we go. All right, so this is Alan's website here. Now, I'm gonna highlight something that I didn't mention in your review, Alan, because I don't think I caught it that day, because I honestly think I kind of went like that and scrolled down right away just for whatever reason, I love this up here, guys. This is Alan's in a niche, musicians. I mean, you guys have been as deeply impacted as any industry by COVID-19. I mean, there's no doubt. Like, we were talking about it the other night. Just like we had 5 concerts that we already had tickets to for just like March, April, and May and June. Not even like things we would have gone to the rest of the year. I mean, that's 5 artists that had to give us money back. And they had to give like 3,000 to 8,000 other people money back, times 50, 100 shows. I mean, it's like just the amount of money is mind blowing, And then you got their backup singers and their band and their techs and their roadies and their manager and all these people that are just like, I mean, instantly went like to making nothing. I mean, literally, at least from those. And so I love this. We talked at the very beginning. Again, this has nothing to do with the resources page. There's something I said around March 25th. It was right when everything started locking down. I said, take advantage of the opportunity. Don't take advantage of people. Never take advantage of people, but take advantage of the opportunity. And you're doing this here. You have an opportunity to, I'm just going to show people, to get the Creative Emergency Toolkit, which, is right here, all available, super goodwill, and also, very relevant. And so love that. I just, wanted to point that out, Alan.
Thank you.
All right. So as you guys can see, I'm on a text message thread that will probably just continue all day while I'm on this live. So here we are, the toolkit. Now let's just walk through this again. All of this, a lot of this is in the guide, but Alan put his own little spin on it here. So here's our favorite tools for organizing your creative life, growing your business, and getting deeper spiritually and intellectually. The most important thing about this sentence here is that it says what the page is. It says what the page is, and it says who it's for. Are you not a creative? Well, then I don't know why you'd be following Alan. Do you want to grow your business? Do you want to get deeper spiritually and intellectually? If you don't want to do any of those things, well, this isn't the right page for you. And that's cool. Like it's a headline that speaks directly to what this is. This right here is super important. If you look, this is what we call above the fold. It's before I'm typically, I use a Mac, but I use a Windows computer for one reason. It has a page down button. There's a page down and a page up button, and I can't do without those. In the studio, I don't have that keyboard, so I don't have a page down button. But if you can just imagine, if I could click the page down button, it would take me to about right here. This is now below the fold. So this right down here being the fold where your monitor ends. For most people, if I were to move this to my smaller monitor, this would still be above the fold. And it's really important that you get your disclosure above the fold. Okay. You want it to say, we have an affiliate relationship with some of these companies, meaning we might make some money, and we legally have to let you know that. What you don't want to do is bury that down here. There are two reasons. Number one, legally, you need to do it above the fold. You need to do it not technically above the fold, but in a conspicuous location. If you think about when you go into an elevator and you see that little thing that says like this was inspected on such and such a date, does anybody ever actually read that? Like, no, but it's there. If they put it up, if they like wrote it in 4-point font or like put it up on the roof of the elevator, then that's not conspicuous. So think of that way. It needs to be above the fold. And Alan, what he writes here is pretty boilerplate stuff. Hey, we have an affiliate relationship, but we always recommend products we know, love, and trust. I love that. If your personality with your platform is humorous, then use some humor there. Like I think sometimes I say something like, we have an affiliate relationship. That means I make it, like, what do you expect? I teach affiliate marketing, and we have a little bit of humor with that. So Alan, awesome job there. Again, due to the current situation, this is a resources page. A resources page doesn't mean list of affiliate links. It means resources. That means some things are free. Some things are affiliate. Some things are your own things. Some things are physical products. Some things are digital products. Some things are membership sites. Some things are software as a service. All types of things. They're the resources that your audience needs. And right now, this is pretty important. So again, he has this right here at the top of his resources page. All right, so here we go. Going through specifically TaxBot. I'm imagining, Alan, you tell me if correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm imagining keeping track of money is not exactly something that's innate for musicians. Would that be pretty accurate?
You are correct. Absolutely.
Okay, good, because it's not innate for me either. We just had to do our review our final numbers this morning for May and June, and oh my goodness, man, it was like torture. Just like basically hearing numbers read off from our debit card and credit card statements. It's like, I just want to no, can I please outsource this to anybody on earth? But we kind of are the last line of defense. And, this is a great resource here for your audiences. So he says it's his top pick. Your top pick, it's the thing that addresses the number one pain point for your audience, which, like we just said, these are creatives. Just the mere mention, like I'm sure even just seeing this right now, Alan, you're starting to break out in hives.
I used to, absolutely. Thank God I used to. But yeah, it used to be the.
But thanks to TaxBot, you're no longer breaking out in hives. And I don't know why I use that voice, but this is the important thing here. Like again, putting a little graphic like that and saying top pick is important for this. TaxBot, and then what it does. Automatically track your deductions to save money year after year. I mean, like it says what it is, and it's so it's so clear what it does there. I love this. Like, it may seem strange to be excited about a mileage tracking app, but it probably has had the biggest impact on our business. Well, now I'm curious, how is that even possible for a musician? And then, you think about it, mileage tracking, that's huge for musicians. They're driving, 200, 300, 400, 500 miles between gigs sometimes. And every one of those, last time I checked, I think it's 56.5 cents that you get to write off. I think that's pretty accurate, something like that. Somebody can Google that, like IRS mileage, and it's probably, it goes up and down every year. But yeah, I mean, tracking income, all that stuff, and then 2-week free trial. And I think I suggested, I'm not sure what the button said before, but I think I suggested that you change it to this, try out TaxBot for free. Like, there's no reason why I wouldn't click that. It's free trial. So as we scroll through here again, every dollar, I think this link's broke actually. Yep.
Oh,
so just as a side note, because you can see if I don't know if you guys will be, it's so tiny, but I'll copy the link. I think I mentioned that before, but it's going to this instead of directly to, just everydollar.com. So just as a side note, there's something you can fix. See, now we got something to fix. And that's from Dave Ramsey. That's a free resource, isn't it?
yes.
Yeah,
Yes, it is.
it's a free resource. If they click this and sign up, guess how much Alan makes? Big zero. But that's not the purpose of this page. He makes money if they buy this. If they do the free trial and eventually, sign up and pay. I don't know how much it is per month. Doesn't matter for right now. He makes some money. He makes an affiliate commission. He doesn't make a dime. Why on earth would Alan recommend this? Again, because the number one point of this page is to serve his audience. Tools for live streaming. Again, he's segmenting things by what they are, by what category they are. If you'll notice that as we scroll through, there's not a whole lot of text. I mean, this one's probably the biggest block of text, but there's still a lot of white space all around here, a little logo and a button here, a little bit of text, logo and a button. If I scroll down here, there's not a whole lot of text. It's not an intimidating level of text. That's important. He's breaking it up with images, breaking it up with the buttons with clear calls to action. That's super important. Good job there, Alan. Same thing here, breaking it up with text, breaking it up with the buttons, or breaking it up with, images and buttons. Now we got another category, tools to sell products, tools for online marketing. Side note, Alan, I just thought of something. I might say within each category, this is something we're going to be doing on our page coming up pretty soon. We have some evidence that this is definitely a good thing. When you have multiple tools that effectively do the same thing, and I'm not saying I'm not reading through these, so I don't know. I think they probably all do different things. But if you have multiple tools, I'll show you an example here. And if you guys want to see our toolbox, it's super simple. You just go to mattmcwilliams.com/toolbox. Mark can drop that link. And we wait for my internet to kick in there. You can see like here, tools to manage an affiliate program. We have two tools here, iDev and Infusionsoft, that do the exact same thing. I recommend both. And I say, this is the affordable one. This is the more expensive one. What we're going to do on these two listings is actually make it clearer before you read the text to say something along the lines of like best value, most reliable, or best value and most robust, or for budget conscious, affiliate programs, or most advanced, something like that. We might even do like a dollars thing where we do like $1 through $5 signs. And this would probably get a $2 and this would get a $5, Infusionsoft. So there's something when you have products that are like identical, but they do different things. Like here, these are 3 things that all do exactly the same thing. Now Kajabi does more, but they all effectively do the exact same thing. You can build your course on them, right? We need to make it clear, you've got the more, this one is more of like the holds your hand and kind of does a lot of the work for you. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's not super expensive. This does other stuff. And this is more of the, the budget one, but still really good. I mean, we use it. So, just some ideas there, Alan, as you go through this.
Cool.
So now you've got your, I'm sorry, did you have a question or were you just saying cool?
Oh, no, it's cool. No, that's it. Yeah.
And then here, tools for online marketing, Bluehost. I love, this one again, top pick, and it's highlighted. One quick suggestion: I'd take my top pick and sure enough, move it to the top.
Okay.
And I love this call to action. I don't know if I suggested that. It's possible I did, but maybe I didn't. I love that. Click here to try ConvertKit for free. Lead pages again. Just love the way that we're breaking up the text. Canva. I mean, here's one. I don't know if you actually signed up for their affiliate program.
I actually did,
Let's
like
see.
Afterward.
Okay. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think I mentioned that too. Yeah, that they have one. Again, Canva's affiliate program doesn't pay very much. Now I'm getting text messages about CBD oil. Oh, I love spam. I love that you mentioned Canva when the reality is, I mean, you're probably not gonna make a whole lot of money off Canva, but it's like you could recommend more expensive tools. But truth is, Canva is actually one of the best things out there for 99% of graphics that you need. One side note, I did just catch this, and I don't think I caught this earlier. But one thing you'll want to do is have these links open in a new tab. So you'll see here when I click on Rizuku, just as an example, it opens up in a new tab. If I click on Kajabi, it opens up in a new tab. That's just good because if I click here, now I have officially left your page,
Right.
and I may never get back.
Yeah.
So again, tools for outsourcing and hiring help. And you guys can see how he's laid this out. Here's one thing: as big of a fan of white space as I am, that's a lot of white space.
Yeah. Got messed up right there. So
okay. Yeah.
For sure.
I've never heard of missing letter. It's interesting. I'm gonna have to check that out. All right. Well, we'll just open that up for later. So, hey, you may be making an affiliate commission later. Again, just going through same kind of thing. So here's something. I'm pretty sure all three of these, I know Hootsuite and Edgar pretty much do effectively the same things.
Right.
All three of these do almost exactly the same thing. And so make it clear without me having to read sentences, which one of these is like it could be a rating system. It could be a dollar system. Now, the thing about it is, if something is if again, $1 to $5, right? Just for, as far as like dollar signs.
Okay.
There's an assumption that what you're rating that has more dollars is also better or more robust. It does something. And so just make sure you're not recommending something that's more expensive that actually is less quality. I think that goes without saying.
Yeah. I think I was going to ask you, because this is a perfect example, because this is one of those things, like you said, Hootsuite and MeetEdgar. I moved on to MeetEdgar after, using Hootsuite for years. And just was realizing that also in terms of, because you always talk about in the resources page, you got to deal with where your customer is. And I think that was one of the main things for me was that, if you're just getting started, MeetEdgar, took me, it was a learning curve, but now I love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's one of the things I probably would have to figure out, like how to rate that and explain it in a short version. This is the beginner, don't have to stress yourself. And then this one is when you need to like spend some more time on it. But yeah, I think that's kind of where my people would be at. Like, which one of these is going to take me a week to learn, which one's going to take me a month, kind of thing.
Yeah. And that's pretty much the two ways you can rate something, in terms of like, if you have three things that do the same thing, like I said over here, we no longer recommend MailChimp, because ConvertKit upped their free plan. So there's no reason to, but for the longest time, we recommended ConvertKit and MailChimp. And we said, hey, if you've got more than, a few hundred subscribers and you're looking to do kind of intermediate level stuff, ConvertKit is the option, but if you're a total beginner and you really need to do this on a budget, then go with MailChimp. But now that ConvertKit's up their free limit, there's no reason for us to mention, even recommend MailChimp anymore, because we don't use them. So we don't recommend them. But there's an example. So there's two ways to basically, guys, differentiate products. Level, beginner, intermediate, advanced, and price. Now typically price isn't an indicator of beginner, intermediate, advanced. There are many beginner tools that are more expensive because I'll give you an example. In the podcasting world, podcast.co is more expensive than Libsyn, but it also does all the work for you. The thing is, I don't need that, and there's no reason for me to pay a little bit more because there's no, like, I know how to upload the file the right way and I know how to set things up the right way. But if you don't know how to do those things, well, then pay a little bit more money. It's easier and it's meant more for beginners. I don't want to record my podcasts directly into a certain device. Like, I want to use my studio setup and whatnot. I want to edit the podcast using the tools that I'm familiar with. And so but if you don't know anything about podcast editing, then Anchor, or not Anchor, I don't recommend Anchor. There's a whole reason for that. I won't get into that. If you want to message me, and I'll tell you why. We were talking about that with our Start Mastermind yesterday. I was telling him why I don't recommend Anchor, and it has nothing to do with the quality of the product, for the record. But podcast.co is great if you want to be able to, like, if you know nothing about editing and all that stuff, so level, hey, if you're a beginner, you're just starting a podcast, go with podcast.co. If you're more advanced, then, here's what I recommend. Price, like I said, is the other, the other good one. And so, guys, you kind of see, oh, there we go. Tools for podcasting, Buzzsprout. That was the other one I was thinking of, again, Buzzsprout's great. If you're starting out a podcast, which is primarily where your audience are. I mean, you probably don't have a whole lot of people coming to you that are on episode 400 of their podcast.
Right.
And if you're on episode 400, don't switch to Buzzsprout. If you're starting one, Buzzsprout and podcast.co are great options, And so again, that's knowing your audience. And so, guys, you see his page there. I'm going to stop sharing my screen, Mark. But you see his page there, and you see exactly how to lay that out. I do want to remind you guys, if you want me to review yours, which would be totally awesome. Let me see. How do I unshare my screen? Do I want to remove this source? Cool. There we are. Make sure to drop a link to your resources page. And I'll pretty much.
Uh-oh.
He's coming back. Hold on.
There he is.
There I am. I'm like, why did I leave? So again, enter your URL and you can win the free coaching today. So Alan, I just want to, talk real quick about how you did set up that page. Cause we mentioned in the guide, we set it up in Lead Pages. I think I even share in the guide what template I use. So if you guys have a Lead Pages account, I literally shared the template. But just, walk us through the process. Like, what did you do to set this up? Was it, how complicated was it? How long did it take? All that fun stuff.
Well, like I told you in the email, and honestly, I think my web designing, everything is just based on please don't break kind of thing. Like, write this and put this and please come out the way I wanted it to. And so I just looked at your page. I use Studio Press, as I mentioned, in this theme. Had a couple of, I'm trying to get used to the whole Gutenberg blocks thing. And it started to make sense when I started like just putting certain blocks in certain places where it looked like the format that we talked about. So I'd say the first time I started using it, it definitely I had issues. It probably took me about a month at first to say, okay, I was just going to go get Lead Pages, or you mentioned, I remember what the template is. But then I kind of, be honest with you, I kind of wanted my own look. I didn't want it to look exactly like the Lead Pages. And I've worked so hard on that page for 3 or 4 years that I wanted it to kind of keep that same look when I got to the resources page. So I just soldiered through it. And then it finally kind of started again, using your template in terms of the look. I started to say, oh, if I do this and this, the button shows up where I needed to show up. And if I just use this particular font, it doesn't look crazy. And you noticed, and again, in the first time you did the review, you mentioned how wide it was. And it's like, again, it's a lot of trial and error. I just kind of stayed up after the review and I'm like, I'm going to get this fixed if it kills me, because I saw how close I was to having it again, a seamless, I wanted it to be a seamless thing where people that got to that page didn't say, oh, now what? He was showing me these podcasts and this blog, and now this doesn't feel like what the same site was. So it was important to me to kind of keep that integrity of the site. But yeah, it took, I was had to kind of push through and use every bit of tech knowledge I had, which isn't much. But yeah, that was basically the process, just working through a Gutenberg and eventually getting what I wanted to look like. And like you said, there's still things I can tweak, but I learned so much more about building a page from building the resources page than probably everything else. Because the blog and all that kind of stuff, it's kind of set up for you, and the theme does it for you. The resources page, I really got to know, like, this is how it works. And so I appreciate the experience of actually building the page myself.
No, I love that. You're not a coder, you're not a designer, you're not like a super techie, whatever, and you didn't let that hold you back. I mean, that's the important thing. And there are tools out there. That's the thing, is you could use lead pages, you could use ClickFunnels, you can use Studio Press, I think is what you said.
Right.
I think is what you said. It was Studio Press, right?
Yeah, Studio Press. Yeah, exactly. It's
there's Optimized Press. There's there's even, like, guys, I've seen some good ones just designed with a basic WordPress template, a free WordPress template. Are they the best ones I've ever seen? No, you're limited. Right. But most of the stuff, if you can make a decent looking blog post, you can make a great looking resources page. It's not like, I always compare things to like 2005, when in 2005, we had individual pages stored on a server that you dragged and dropped to upload via a thing called FTP.
I remember.
You had to hand code. Like, at first you had to hand code it. You had to code the thing. Then they came out with what are called Wysiwyg, which is what you see is what you get. So there's a program I used to use called Dreamweaver. It's first owned by Macromedia, and then Adobe bought them. And you had to, like, hand create these pages and then upload them. And you had to, like, preview them on your, in a browser, and then oh gosh, and it was like such a pain. Now, guys, it's drag and drop.
Yep.
It's drag and drop. Like, Mark, I know Mark's off to the sidelines now, so but he'd be the first to admit he's not a website designer. He's created some really good pages in ClickFunnels,
Okay.
And we're not like super advocates for ClickFunnels. It's a tool that we use. We recommend it, just like we also recommend lead pages, and other stuff. But like, he would tell you, he's not like, it's easy because you click the thing and then drag it. And to get something to do like a box with, let's say, a red border and a light yellow background back in 2005, you had to go to your CSS Bible. Oh, that's right. Okay. Background - color equals $CC0000. Like, and then, okay, border equals 1, no, 2, no, I'm going to go with 3. Oh, that looks too big. Back to 2, and then tell the color. And it was like this code that was forever long, which the code's still there, guys. It's not like the code disappeared. It's just that these tools make it so easy. So there's no excuse not to build an amazing looking, amazing converting page just like Alan's. So I love it, man. I love it. Guys, I'm going to drop the link to Alan's page. You guys have access to this replay whenever. And yes, as Tim said, that this is for file transfer protocol. I had forgotten that. I dropped the link to godandgigs.com/toolkit. Highly recommend, when you do your resources page, again, grab the ultimate guide to resources pages. Just type resources anywhere, and we'll send it to you. Grab that, walk through that, use my page as a guide. Steal some of the stuff that, that Alan's done. I love the top pick thing. I love that, the little background color offset for his top pick, little things like that. Ultimately, what website design is all about is telling people where to look. Like, I'm just thinking about even my desk, this my studio desk. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books on my desk. My phone's there. It keeps going off. I've got this here. There's a painting over there. And so, like, in 2020, we're always like, where do I look? And that little thing of just a light back, what was it? Yellow, I think. Light yellow background says, okay, look here first.
And I
That's
gotta
what we're
thank you
doing.
for the that top pick. That was one of the biggest to me that made visually. It made so much sense because again, I was worried that all of these links and things and boxes and trying to get the right size, it just you get lost in terms of just this logo, this logo, this logo, this logo, and I felt like it wouldn't say anything. And then when you said put something on those
Mhm.
particular links that tell people this is what I am most excited about, and I just grabbed out of Canva, just a simple pick, just a simple little,
Oh my
JPEG.
goodness, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was
How
like
long did that take you in Canva? Like 30 seconds maybe?
maybe a minute. And it, like I said,
Um,
like those moments are like, are you kidding me? Like I was freaking out about how to make this recommended, and all I had to do was just grab the little, the tiniest little thing and just throw it in there, and that looked perfect. Like that didn't take any time at all to make it look right.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's I mean, just as a side note, little things like if you go to the link, guys, you'll see it. I shared it earlier, of course. But that blue, that color blue contrasts with most of the stuff on the website. The most of the website's kind of that gold. I think you call it gold, right? It's kind of
Yeah,
like a dark
I go
gold.
yellow gold. Yeah, I try to keep it
And
from getting too
actually,
light.
it's
Yeah.
almost. I'm curious to see the brand color. Well, let me pull because they changed it recently, but it literally looks like the old. Where are you located, Alan? I forget.
I'm down in South Florida, Fort Lauderdale.
Okay. Okay. Cool. We were just down there not too long ago. I
Yeah,
mean, I say in February.
yeah, but I remember yes, you were here for the
So it's lightened up, but it looks like the old Wake Forest gold.
wow.
Well,
That's
it's called
funny.
Old Gold. They're
Yeah.
Old Gold and Black, and so now they've lightened up their colors. But anyway, so that blue just like it's different. And again, our eyes are drawn to contrasting colors. That's just how we are wired. So Yashika says it right. This toolkit is everything. Like it's exactly like this is a great page. I will say in all seriousness, Alan, I'm not just saying this to because you're on. I would say this even if you weren't. It's probably the best one we've seen from one of our students. I mean, it is definitely top two, top three. So
Gosh.
good job, man. All
Thank
right, guys. Well, I'm going to give you guys a last chance. If anybody wants a free review of their resources page, drop your link. You got like 1 minute as we wrap up here, and then we'll do that. But otherwise, what I'm going to do, Alan,
hmm
we talked about how long it took. We talked about what tools you used to do it. There's a few suggestions. I know you'll probably go back and watch this replay and just grab those
Right away.
few suggestions.
Got my notes already. I'm ready.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yep.
So I want to ask you, how do you determine which products go on your page? Now, I know what I suggest. That's not what I'm asking. How do you determine, all these products that are on that page? How did you decide what went on there?
Well, I'll be honest with you. This is where I probably struggled the most. I didn't get to, I talked about so much about the design, but the actual picking the products for me, because of my niche, because I'm a coach in kind of like the lifestyle, how to like organize your life. But then a lot of the musicians I follow that follow me and work in my own space, they're more techie. They want to have the best keyboard, the best, computer. You know what I mean? So to me, that was I hope it still got you. Um, so that was a big issue because I thought, oh, I need to
I'm here,
recommend.
Alan. Did I break up or something? Sorry.
Yeah, just for a second when it went silent,
Okay.
just make sure you didn't lose me. But yeah, I thought I had to put a whole bunch of techie stuff, which I don't. That's not my thing. Like even I'm a pianist by trade, so I love to just I don't even now in my studio I have one keyboard. I'm not one of these guys that have bunches of keyboards all over the place and computers and Macs and stuff like that's just not my thing. So I thought my resources page would have to be full of that stuff. But then I said, well, what number one, like you say, what do I wish I had when I was starting this? I wish I had better access to a website that I could just get up and running. I wish I had my email list. I wish I had my finances straight so I wouldn't be like spending tons of money on taxes or losing track of research. I wish I had so all the things I wish I had, not the things I thought I wanted, but the things I really needed is that, okay, this would be the thing that would help my audience to avoid the issues that I had. So that's why I picked those products, not necessarily because they know about them or that they immediately would go right to that thing, but because I knew now that if they get those things started, they'll be able to handle everything else. All the other parts of the creative lifestyle, I actually recommend them to go to other people who can recommend those products, the cameras and the lights and the keyboards and the musician stuff. I know people that are much more techy, and then they can get the commission off their affiliates because they can recommend those with confidence. But for me, I wanted to stay in a space where I knew that the business and the freelance and the entrepreneurial side would be taken care of. So that's why I went that direction.
Yeah. I'm going to challenge you on something there, though, Alan.
Okay.
You don't have to be the world's leading expert at a topic to recommend products. There's this concept I learned from Brendan Burchard years ago. It's called the halo effect. And the halo effect, we'll use my world. I am an expert at affiliate marketing. I am arguably the world's best at running affiliate programs and doing affiliate marketing. That's a pretty small corner of the online marketing ecosystem, right? Of the entrepreneurial ecosystem. Right. But people ask me all the time, how do I get over fear? I'm not an expert on fear. I have opinions. All right, well, I'll share. People ask me all the time, that's how we created List Launch Challenge and List Launch Academy, because people kept asking, how do I build my email list? How do I build my email list? How do I build my email list? The truth is, I'll admit, I am not the world's leading expert at building an email list. Pretty good at it. I've done pretty well at it. I can show you a lot. And then of course I am pretty good at teaching you the monetization part once you build it. People ask me for things like, well, what mic do you use? What mic are you using right now, Matt? Well, they don't make this anymore. It's an ATR 2100. We just learned the other day that they stopped making it, and now it's a different one from the same company that replaced it. If you go to my toolbox page, the ATR 2100 link hasn't even been updated yet. It actually, or the picture and the description hasn't been updated. The link actually goes to the new thing. We haven't even had time to just to rewrite it. Got it. But I get asked all the time, like, how do I start a podcast? I'll share with what I did. I'm not an expert at it, but they don't necessarily want the world's leading expert. They want you. They follow you, and they're part of your journey. And so, some of the most popular posts that I do on Facebook, and you probably have found some of the same stuff, isn't the stuff that says, here's a little trick I learned to grow my list, or here's a little trick I learned to make, to double my affiliate commissions. It's, hey, look, my son's going to soccer camp and he's wearing a cone on his head. Yeah. It's like they get to know you, and they get to have that relationship with you. So I would just challenge you on that there might be some things that you can recommend that you might say, I don't feel qualified to be the world's best. On my toolbox page, I recommend our lighting kit. Have I tested 37 lighting kits? No. All right. You guys are seeing me right now pretty well. I think the light's pretty good in here. This light is technically about 3 feet too close because there's no room to move it anywhere. That's why this side of my face is a little on the bright side, actually. These lighting kits are super good, and I mean, they're pretty affordable. This mic, are there better mics? Yeah. This is the one I happen to use. And most people just say, you sound good. What mic to use? They don't want to do the research, and they don't necessarily even want the world's greatest opinion. They just want to sound like me, in terms of the sound quality, not my voice. I have a weird voice. All those little things. And so it's like, I get asked that all the time, oh, that's such a good picture. How do you do that? Well, I use my phone. What camera do you use? One of these three, I don't know. But no, I mean, even like, what tripod do you use? And it's not so much, I always say this, Alan, so this is something I would keep in mind. It's not so much that they're looking for the best, they're just looking for some direction.
Gotcha.
They are, it's kind of like, I had a marriage counselor that I went to many, many years ago, probably like 7 or 8 years ago. The guy's name was Jim, and he's down in Nashville. And he said something very profound to me. I remember one day, I really wanted my wife, Tara, to pick the restaurant. Not because I didn't want to pick it. I wanted to let her pick the restaurant. But she said, no, I want you to pick. And I said, no, you really pick. Eventually, we ended up getting in an argument. Wow. About who was going to pick the restaurant. And it wasn't, no, I really want Mexican. No, I really want Italian. And like, we're going to eat Mexican. We're just go eat at separate restaurant. No, it was like, and he said to me, do you know something? She didn't need to have the thing that she necessarily wanted the most. She just needed you to make a decision. And I was like, oh, our audience is the same way. You know, they don't need to know all the ins and outs of why I picked this lighting kit. Truth is, I picked this lighting kit because it was rated well on Amazon, you know, and like, and it was in our budget, so I picked it.
Yeah.
But now I know that I trust it, because if it sucked, I wouldn't recommend it.
Right.
And they just don't want to make a decision. They just want the easy way. And so I would challenge you. There might be some tools that maybe you say, no, my friend knows that better. So-and-so knows it better. They don't want him to recommend stuff.
Gotcha.
They just want to know, what are you using? What headphones you got on right now? You know, what, you know, all that stuff. They just want to know. They just want the easy way. So challenge you on that. Try to think through that. Okay.
I got it. Thank you so much.
Cool, man. Well, guys, this has been awesome. I'm really hoping Mark is still actually on so he can end this. It's going to be really awkward if he's not.
just gotta.
He controls everything. I mean, I don't know. Like, you guys can just watch me work. I'll take the studio computer over to the office, I guess. And you guys want to watch me type emails this afternoon?
I'd sign up. Absolutely.
All right, real quick. Okay. Mark just texted me and said, "Yep, I'm here." I shared on my blog. I shared the process I use for like how I do visualization and stuff like that to you know, the process I go through to write emails. The truth is, I do that exercise. It takes a couple of minutes, and the reality is, basically, what you see for the next hour is this. Okay. No. What do I want to say? What do I want to say? You know, and then I'm like on thesaurus.com trying to find the word that I'm trying to think of that means.
Thank God for thesaurus. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but yes, that is my spot.
Yeah. You know, that's what it is. It's not really a real, I don't know. It's not really a beautiful thing. It's kind of messy and ugly when we're writing email copy. And then other times I'm like writing it and I'm like, oh, I got nothing. And I will pick up the phone and I'll be like, I'll call my wife. I'll be like, hey, sweetheart, I'm trying to think of a way to say this. What do I do? Then we'll talk. And then 5 minutes later, I'll have something like, boom, now I can write the next 7 emails, you know? And other times I'll call like Robbie or Mark, be like, okay, dude, how do I say this thing is awesome without saying this thing is awesome? You know, like, what do I, you know, like, how do I do that? And so I don't know. So Mark's on, so we get to end this. It looks like, according to Vic, I should sell tickets to watching me write email copy. Yeah. And then it just, you know, like I said, it's really not that exciting. So
hey, we need content. You can
we'll do that. Next week's Facebook Live, guys, is actually just going to be an hour of watching me write email copy. No, actually, next week's Facebook Live is going to be awesome. And I'm going to tell you guys what it is after I look it up right here, because I don't have it in my notes. So again, guys, just real quick, go grab that ultimate guide to resources pages. We'll show you how to develop a resources page. You could build one just like Tim's. I was thinking Alan. I was like, Tim Allen? What? No. He was in the news recently. That's why I probably said that. That Freudian slip there. So just like Alan's, you guys can build that. Make sure, if you guys want that personalized review, you'll have an option there. Mark can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's like $27. It might be 37, but it's under $50 to get that personalized review. So
totally worth it.
You know, so you know, take advantage of that. And then next week, the Facebook Live. Ooh, I'm excited about that one. Next week, we're gonna be talking about, and Mark said, pretty sure it's 27. We're gonna be talking about masterminds and the power of masterminds. So not an hour of me typing emails. Sorry, Vic. We'll do that another time. So maybe actually I will do a Facebook Live here in the next few weeks about how I write emails, though, but it won't just be watching me write emails. Maybe I'll break down some, I don't know. Let me know in the comments, guys. Would that be something you guys would be interested in? I'll maybe break down some emails that we've written. Yeah, Alan's like, I would love that. Absolutely. I know, Vic, I know what you vote for. But let me know if that's something you guys would like, and we'll work that in. Maybe do a live about the process that we go through with our emails, both me, since I write the majority of the content, and our team in terms of getting those loaded. So Drop a comment. Let me know what you guys think of that idea. And if enough people say yes, we will add that to our upcoming Facebook Live. So, Alan, man, thank you so much, man. This has been awesome. I love getting to share your stuff today. That was cool.
And thank you, Matt. And I just want to tell you, you have just joined up with AIM today this morning. I didn't feel like I could. I'm like, okay, I can't stop here. We got to get to the next step. So I'm going to be learning more from you in the next, for foreseeable future. Thank you so much for this opportunity, man, and giving me the opportunity to learn, man. I'm really looking forward to what's next.
Awesome, guys. Well, I'm going to drop a link there. He just mentioned. I think I'm dropping the right link. I better check that. He mentioned AIM. AIM is Insider or Affiliate Insider Monthly. It's our monthly membership site. And you guys can get a 60-day. I'm dropping the right link. So you guys can get a 60-day trial for just $1. Jump in there for $1. MattMcWilliams.com/AIM trial. Go check that out. And you guys can jump in there. And it looks like we're getting enough yeses on the Watch Matt write emails. Actually, no. Watch Matt breakdown emails. So we'll get that added to our content calendar and let you guys know when that Facebook Live is coming up. If you want to get a heads up on that, make sure you type in FB chat, just FB and then the word chat. I think it works if you have a space, no space, 2 spaces. As long as the letters F, B, C, H, A, T are in some successive order continuously, we'll send you a messenger update and let you know when we go live. So you guys will get an update on that. So Elliot, Vic, Colleen, Tim, Yoshika, let's see, Mark, Jim, and the others. Thank you guys so much for being here today. And again, Alan, thank you, brother. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it so much.